Obviously, we will get into all the football from yesterday and break it all down and yell and scream about how bad the Jets were, from the quarterback to the coach to the coordinator to the defense. But coming up on the heels of a well-deserved goodbye for Steve Summers, as I just said to him, we should all be that lucky to have a 34-year career in one place, which is not the norm in this business. The length of time is also not the norm. And there's no right way to do your last show. There's no right way to say goodbye to somebody like that. But I think WFAN over the last year plus has done a tremendous job in doing just that, saying goodbye to legendary figures in New York radio, from the man who sat presiding over all of it, Mark Chernoff, to Mike Francesa, to now Steve Summers. The baton has been passed on to a new generation here at WFAN, but that doesn't mean you ever forget the men and women who paved the way for this radio station to become the great place that it became, to change an entire genre of media, which is radio, because there was no all 24-hour sports talk prior to FAN, and now there's hundreds of stations, if not thousands, across the country, and it's because of people, trailblazers, like Steve Summers. So the little bit part of that Evan and I are, we're blessed to be a part of that. And as I told Steve earlier today, you do what you got to do. Yeah, we can go on at any time today. We got plenty of time to do our show and talk about sports. But I know, Evan, you've been in radio a long time. You would have thought or two about that. And then we'll get back into our show, and we'll do what we do.
Steve is a legend. I hugged him today and was afraid I was going to break him. That was the one thing that scared me. But to see his face, to hear his voice one last time, like many people listening right now, I grew up listening to this radio station. He was one of the voices that got me listening to the fans. So it was a well-deserved tribute today. It's good to hear Mike Francesa and Mark Chernoff.
How about Mike walking his dog?
That's right.
A little out of breath. Well, but that was great.
That could definitely get you out of breath. But Steve's a legend. He deserved all of the accolades he got Friday night. I stayed up till 2 a.m. listening to that, and obviously today. So congratulations to an icon who now has a break room named after him, too.
Yeah, they named the place where you get your coffee here.
That's right.
Coffee is now officially the Steve Summers break room.
And in honor of him, you should be able to smoke in there, too. It should be allowed.
Well, I'm sure he's got a cigarette ready to go in there. So listen, that's that. Those of you that listened in on that, wondering where we were, we sat back gladly to listen to Steve put a capper and a bow on what's been, a great career.
The best part, though, is, and I think you could tell by listening to the last hour and a half, Steve doesn't take compliments well. He can't accept you're great, Steve. We love you, Steve. He always immediately has to turn it into a compliment to that person. And it was great listening to Steve have to just take compliments.
Yeah, but he wanted it.
Did he?
Yeah,
I don't know,
I'll
man.
tell you why. That's the same guy that came up to me pissed that I didn't play him in the softball game. I'm Steve Summers. I should be playing in this game. That's the same guy. All good. Listen, there's no thing from people that do this for a living that you can't do anything else. That's usually a thought process amongst people that have done it, especially people that have done it for as long as he has. You're not good at anything else. You've built no other skill in life to be hireable in any other job. You can't bag groceries.
That's the problem with doing radio. You're right.
34 years later, as I was saying to someone in the hallway, that's the goal.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we should all want. And at some point, I guess when you come down to it, there's a melancholy aspect of it. But if I'm Steve Summers, I licked it. I beat it. I won.
Damn right.
I got 34 years on the radio, making a nice living, talking to New Yorkers about sports. Greengrass was Barney Greengrass on the Upper East Side, a legendary place for Jewish people who love bagels and lox and kippered salmon and all that stuff. Apparently sent in a couple bags, a catering bag. And this the last story, and then we'll get into our show, right? So I'm here. We did a nice little room naming for Steve earlier today that you were part of, okay? And the station went out and got great cupcakes for the occasion. And I see 2 big bags of, is it Barney Greengrass? I always get it wrong. Barney, whatever. It's a legendary place.
Right.
All right. If they're like the kippered salmon experts in New York City, okay? And there's 2 bags there of catering for everybody. And Steve goes, I'll take those home.
Good for him. Good for you, Steve.
All right, so there you go. There's your Steve Summers stuff. By all means, say what you want to say. Discuss them on Twitter or anywhere else you discuss things that you know very little about. And here we are now. We are at a crossroads because The Mike effing White thing, whatever you want to call it, has died a horrible death, as many people predicted it would, because it's Jet related. That being said, and he was terrible yesterday, and now we'll find out at some point, probably Wednesday, I imagine, who the starting quarterback's going to be against the Miami Dolphins. Robert Saleh did say today that he'll know at the end of the day physically where Zach is. I guess they're going to put him through some stuff today. But here's the reality of yesterday. And I want to kind of temper my negative emotion by being real about what we really expected against the best defense in football.
And then I won't temper my negative emotion.
Fair enough. As bad as Mike White was yesterday, and he was brutal, he was as bad as you could possibly be in an NFL game, he's not alone. He's not the problem. The problem yesterday for me was twofold. The obvious one, our defense sucks. And that's it. There's no better word to use. It is an embarrassment what this team puts out on the field defensively every single week now, where they're giving up, on average in the last month, of 40 points a game. You can't win no matter who your quarterback is. But here's what bothered me the most yesterday. Because I did think they were going to lose. I told you all week that I thought they were going to lose the game and then go on their 5-game winning streak.
Do you still think that way, by the way?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
All right?
Okay.
Yes, yesterday was exactly what I thought it was going to be.
Sure.
And I said it all week last week. That being said, we have a real problem here. And the problem is the head coach of this football team. And I'm going to tell you why. Number one, when the game is not out of reach yet, and it's 4th and 1, and there's the debate, okay, long field goal or go for it on 4th and 1. They were going to go for it. And you saw what the play was. It was going to be a fake handoff, roll Mike White out to the right, either run for the yard, or I guess there's going to be a guy that comes out in the flat that may or may not be open. But we had to delay a game penalty. This is a key part of the game because the 5-yard penalty made us punt. So you're telling me with all 3 timeouts left, in a significant part of the game, with the play clock running down, nobody on the sideline, nor on the field, obviously, recognized that that's a problem. Let's call timeout. That is a major, major incompetent fiasco for a head coach and all the other guys on that sideline. Number one. Number two, I know Laundrie's getting killed today for his coverage of Diggs. If you look at the numbers alone, deservedly so.
Javelin Guidry, you mean?
I said, what did I say?
Laundry.
Guidry. I said
That's
Laundry.
fine.
I have no
That's
idea.
fine.
Guidry.
Yeah.
Guidry's getting killed today. If you go back and actually watch it, Guidry's coverage ain't that bad. You're just talking about a superior talent going against him. But why would you put a kid who has barely played one-on-one with no help at all against their biggest weapon? We get to all the other stuff, the embarrassment, Mike White, Zach Wilson, all on the table today. But if you want to look at it with some rationalization, we have a head coach problem. We have a head coach problem. The bald wonder that we all loved was exposed yesterday. Period. Stop. Feel free.
You used a key word. The key word you said in all of this, and this is what scared me for the last few weeks and few months, was incompetence.
Yeah.
Because the bar for this football team this year was competence. That was the bar. Forget about what you said about 8 or 9 wins. Put that to the side. What most Jet fans were looking for this season was competence, was for someone to be more competent than Adam Gase. And as we sit here 10 weeks into the season, are the New York Jets getting better? Ask yourself that. Are they getting better? Are they showing signs of improvement? The Jacksonville Jaguars are showing signs of improvement, and we all wanted Urban Meyer fired not too long ago. They have gotten worse week to week. The head coach is supposed to be a defensive-minded guy coming out of the bye week. We have seen a run of bad defense we've never seen before in this town since 1966. And you hit on it. It's bad enough to be bad. It's bad enough to be bad. What makes it worse is when you see things that can be fixed easily. There is zero excuse for a timeout not being called on that 4th and 1 play. Zero. A play needs to have been gotten off. If Joe Judge is on the sideline, he uses one of his many timeouts.
Probably used 2.
Yes. And by the way, There's nothing wrong with using a timeout there. The worst possible situation was a delay of game, which pushes you back to midfield and forces you to punt. Now, look, the Jets ended up pinning Buffalo back. They actually made a stop. They got the ball back, and they kicked the field goal. I get all that.
Doesn't matter.
But this was a close football game in that moment. And then what changed after that was the other situation of incompetence. And I don't know if you saw this coach after the game, but he was asked a couple of things about him after the game. First of all, he don't look angry at all. He's just sitting back like, yeah, we got to be better. Yeah, no kidding, they got to be better. How about you show some anger like Bruce Arians showed at the Buccaneers when he basically called his team stupid? That's what he did.
Including his quarterback.
Yeah, he called them all stupid. This head coach is like, we got to be better. But he was asked a great question. Hey, why are you putting Javelin Guidry on Stephon Diggs? Why? Why not send some safety help? Why not double team him? Why not move another corner who has a little bit more experience on Stephon Diggs? And his answer is an answer I just couldn't deal with. He said, well, that's not our system. That's not what our system does.
The system gives up 40 points a game. If that's what we're going to hold on to now, that we run our system and the players' names are interchangeable, we're effed for a long time. We are. Because it shows a lack of ability on the sideline to make changes based on performance, based on talent, based on situation, on and on and on. So everyone can yell and scream about Mike White, and obviously the frozen take of, I feel like I should have been a first-round draft pick. Sorry, buddy, you're done. Your NFL career's over now. Or maybe it's not. I don't know. You were terrible. We'll put you on the side. Because what was our expectation? Evan said it last week. You're going up against the best pass defense in football. He was going to struggle. Maybe not as badly as he did. And then you say to yourself, if you know you're going up against such a tough pass defense, and we all saw it, the Jets were able to run the ball.
Yeah, why not establish the run?
Run the ball.
Why
and
not
I want to
run?
be clear, because we're not being hypocrites. What we're saying to the Jets is, you need a different game plan each week based on who you're playing against. You have no strength, so it's not as if you could say to the rest of the NFL, this is what we do better than anybody else. You got to stop us. Mm-hmm. We suck. On all aspects of our game, we suck. So it's our job, I think it is at least, for a defensive coordinator, an offensive coordinator, and for sure the head coach is to devise a new plan each week based on who the opponent is. They did run the ball well yesterday.
Yes, they did, yeah.
And yet, they decided throwing it was the option. It's mind-bogglingly stupid. Now, I'll give you this. They were expected to lose. They were double-digit underdogs. They lost.
Yeah, but not like, it doesn't have to be like this, bro. It doesn't have to be at 31-30 with 25 minutes left in this game. You can't lose that way. Like, we all get it that the Jets weren't likely to win this football game. They were facing a team far superior talent-wise. We all accept that.
We have just been handed a piece of paper, Evan. This is very interesting, of course. Robert Saleh just finished his meeting with the media. And it says on my piece of paper, he has a message for Jets fans.
Oh, great.
Don't play it yet.
Great.
I don't know that I want to hear it. Was it all gas, no brakes? Is it we have a system and we believe in our system? Is it, let's say, that's B. C. Is it C, which I've heard too many times already from a lot of teams in this town, not just the Jets. Yesterday was unacceptable. Fans deserve better. Do you want to hear it?
No, because the problem is we've seen this unacceptable garbage for how many weeks in a row?
Everyone.
How many times?
Not everyone, but
No.
defensively,
everyone.
Yeah.
How many times over the course of this season, the Jets have now lost 7 games?
Yeah.
How many times have they been non-competitive in those losses?
7.
Yeah, the answer is too many, bro.
Yeah.
Especially coming out of the bye. So look.
It sucks being a Jet fan. It does.
We should listen. And I am kind of curious now to hear what he had to say, but I'd be stunned if he says anything.
It's going to be his.
That's going to make anybody feel better from the crap we saw yesterday.
It's going to be a garbage cliche. It's going to be, I take ownership of this. We have to fix this. If the guys in the room have any pride, they'll come out Sunday and play tougher. We should all be embarrassed. That's my gut.
So he's going to come across angry, which he didn't do
Not really.
at his press conference yesterday?
I think he's going to come across as kind of like, we should all be embarrassed. This is unacceptable. You deserve better from us. I don't even want to let's play.
Yeah, let's hear it.
All right, we're going to play. This is Robert Saleh moments ago. Stop it right there. Stop
it's a
right
good
there.
one.
Stop right there.
That's how it starts?
That is pathetic. like anyone's buying into that.
Oh, God.
Like that pre-planned deep breath of disgust is something that I'm going to buy into. Please.
36 hours after the game, now he's giving us the deep sigh.
Now we get it?
Now, is this in response to a question or is this his opening statement?
Oh, that's a good
Response
question.
to a question.
Well, what's the question? Do we know?
Do we know the question
Yeah,
yet?
do you have a message to the Jet fans? That's why I eliminated the question because it was
Thank you.
straightforward.
All right, well, this didn't say what the question was. So I should have assumed that.
So
I suppose.
someone-
I can leave the question in.
Whatever. Someone
it's all
says
right.
to Coach Saleh, do you have a message for Evan Roberts and Craig Carton and every other Jet fan? Do you have a message?
Well, it's a good one.
It's a good one.
It is. I'm just as frustrated as everybody else.
No, you're not.
And my promise to Jets fans is this thing's going to flip. And the support obviously is always warranted. The criticism is always warranted, and you reap what you sow, right? But this thing's going to flip. I know in my heart this thing's going to flip. But,
Okay, it's not going to flip.
No.
Some-
Hold on a second.
It's not going to flip tomorrow.
And I apologize for not saying this before he went on that. I noticed a tactic that Robert Saleh has. He has a tactic, and it's to make the media like him. It's a tactic. What he does after any tough question is he says, "Ooh, that's a good question. That's a good question. Hey, Coach, how come you stuck Javelin Guidry one-on-one on Stephon Diggs?"
Did anybody
He did
ask
this,
him?
Yes, and he did this yesterday. His first response is, that's a good question. I don't need you to tell us it's a good question. I need you to give a freaking answer.
Did anybody
I need a
ask him
response
about-
from you, bro.
Did anybody ask about the timeout?
Yes, and you know what he said, Craig?
No, what did he say about that?
That's a good question. Deep breath and a response. So this shtick, Coach, that you're giving us, we were asking amazing questions. Your team sucks. Your defense makes zero adjustments. Coming out of the second half of this game, you're down 17-3. Thanks, Corey Davis. Great job, Corey. Way to hold on to the football. More on him later, I guess. The defense comes out and on 4 freaking plays lets the Bills march down the field.
Yeah.
Where the hell are the adjustments?
There were none.
There were none. What's your answer to that, Coach? That's a good question.
And you know what's frustrating is that Jay Feely, who I think has become a very good analyst, he must have repeated himself 30 times during the broadcast saying they could literally throw the ball to Diggs every single play because Guidry's on him. And as much as I thought Guidry actually was on him pretty good, Diggs made spectacular plays. He's a great player. And you had a guy that's sitting up in the booth going, I don't understand this.
Craig.
Like, they could throw it to him every down, so they did.
So to your point, and I'm going to try to remain calm when I say this, so that Diggs Guidry play for a touchdown was late first half, right? Then Corey Davis fumbles, Bills kneel on the football. Buffalo gets the football to start the second half. Do you know the first play they ran?
Yes.
Yes, Diggs one-on-one with Javelin Guidry.
Right.
You had an entire half in the locker room to come up with any kind of different game plan. No one's suggesting you're going to win. We're looking for some kind of reaction to the garbage at the end of the first half. Some kind of, I don't know, let's try something different. Some kind of adjustment. And
What?
Craig, on the first effing play
I was
of the
watching.
second half, there's poor Javelin Guidry one-on-one with Stephon Diggs. Hey, Coach, how'd that happen? Well, geez, that's a good question.
Does Ulbrich do anything on the sideline? Is he actually coaching? He ain't going to be here next year. And Rex Ryan was really pissed off this weekend when somebody compared him to Robert Saleh, and he threw Robert Saleh, deservedly so, right under the bus. How dare you compare me to that loser? I'm paraphrasing there. I never had a single team that performed the way his team performs every single week. Go back and check it. I got the receipts. My man, Rex Ryan. I love fiery Rex. Bring him back.
Rex, I love you.
Oh, no, you didn't hear it.
Rex.
I got to play it for you. I'm going to play it for you.
Rex.
Wait till you hear what Rexy
Rex,
said.
I love you, Rex. You never had a defense this horrific in talent as the defense
No,
Joe Douglas
excuse me.
put on the field for this head coach. What?
He even said
What?
there was one game I played without 5 cornerbacks, all on the injured list.
Have you seen these cornerbacks?
He goes, I didn't give up 40. My man. Listen, you're a diehard Jet fan. Let's do it. Let's get it. What happened to the fiery defensive coordinator for the Niners, running up and down the field, showing all that passion and emotion, getting guys all pumped up. Where'd that guy disappear to?
Rex, 45-3 Monday night against the Patriots, 2010.
Why do you have to research
No,
stuff?
because I don't have to research. I was in the building with Joe that night.
Why do you have to research
They did get
everything?
the revenge like 7 weeks later in the playoff. No, because, look, here's the
All
problem.
gas, no brake.
I love Rex Ryan, Craig. I really
All
do.
gas, no brake.
Rex is tremendous, and I think he should know this. Rex, as bad as Robert Saleh is.
All
and
gas, no brake.
Saleh's no Rex Ryan. The talent on this team is disgraceful, and that's on Joe Douglas. And I don't want that ignored because Rex Ryan says, I would never let this happen. Dude, you had a much more talented defense than the garbage we saw on the field yesterday. Half those guys shouldn't be in the NFL, and you know it, and Rex knows it.
877-337-6666. Listen, it's a big departure from Mike Effin White. Mike, who, by the way, should have paid for dinner last night. I hope he did.
It's Mike Effin White.
Mike Effin White.
All gas, no brake.
All gas, no brakes. Listen, and if you're a diehard Giant fan, we deserve it. You can bring it. We do. I want to be clear. I know you guys are back at it this week. Big game against Tampa on the road, obviously, coming off the bye week. If you want to have fun at our expense, I want to be clear. We deserve it.
And let me say
Bring
this.
the noise.
And I want you to agree with this, Craig, unless you don't agree with it.
Well, then so I'm allowed to feel the way I feel.
I'm giving you an out. I just can't imagine you having it out.
All right.
Robert Saleh has not shown any signs of being a capable head coach the way Joe Judge has. So as much as we've blasted Joe Judge, rightfully so.
Comparison.
Why?
I don't think either one of them have.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't think Joe Judge, we saw the Giants make adjustments to their entire game plan against the Las Vegas Raiders. That's why you and I were one of the few that came on the air the next day and said, you know what? Let's commend Jason Garrett and the Giant coaching staff.
We did. We gave him credit. You're right.
They make adjustments, and they've actually won a few games, and they've shown progress. I'll ask you this, Jet fans, fellow Jet fans. Have you seen any reason to believe from this coaching staff?
No.
Oh.
No?
How many weeks into the season are we, Craig?
10.
Have you seen any reason to believe this is different than Adam Gase? Any reason to believe this is different than Todd Bowles? Any reason to believe this is different than Eric Mangini? And the answer is no.
And yet they're still going to go win 4 in a row. How about that?
Oh, God.
The schedule makers have been very tough on us, and this is our week. Or maybe it's not. Dolphins are playing better football lately. We might be facing them at a bad time. I mean, I'll tell you this. Let's just agree to this.
What?
Let's get this day will be a venting day for sure.
Yeah.
Let's all agree on one thing. If the Miami Dolphins put a 40 bone on the New York Jets, we're chipping in and getting the billboard.
Yes, I agree.
Is that fair?
I agree. If you let Tua
Is that fair?
and this Dolphin offense put a 40 burger up again, I mean,
we're getting it.
I think we have to.
No. I'm in. Are you in? If the Miami, what's actually 40 shouldn't be the number to be fair.
What should the
30
number be?
should be the number. If the Miami Dolphins put a 30 bone or burger or higher on the Jet defense, we're going billboard.
And what is it? Asking for everyone?
We'll worry about the billboard later.
Because that's the key. Are we talking about Joe Douglas?
No, I don't know
Are we
yet.
talking about Robert Saleh?
Evan, let's just agree. We go billboard just in time for the holidays.
I'll tell you why you're right.
Are you in or out?
I'm in. I'll tell you why the number should be 30. The Miami Dolphins have not scored 30 points in any game they've played at all this season.
So 30 is our number.
And they played the Houston Texans 2 weeks ago.
Great.
They played the Jacksonville Jaguars, though they actually look competent now, a few weeks before that. If the Miami Dolphins, if this incompetent coaching staff, oh my God, and this incompetent defense allows Tua and the Dolphin offense to put up 30 freaking points,
then we're buying a billboard.
Then we are buying the billboard.
Okay, we're all in on that. There you go. All right? Right now, we'll let you vent about what happened yesterday. Or if you're a Giant fan and you feel like gloating, by all means. I think we've covered the big ones, though. Our coaches suck. Our quarterback was...
It's Mike Effin White.
Yeah, I mean, he went from Mike Effin White to Effin Mike White with the quickness. And thankfully, nobody's calling it today saying Joe F. Flacco after the touchdown pass to Moore.
You know what? Hold on a second. I haven't said anything about Mike Effin White. Let's be fair about something. Let's be fair about
Should we take a break first?
Yes. When we come back, I'm going to tell you why Mike Effin White wasn't as bad as everybody wants to make him out to be. All right?
He's a stud, man.
I'm going to do it. I'll be the one guy to call it like it is when it comes to Mike White.
He was scared in the pocket of
Okay,
him.
I'll address it.
He was backpedaling with no pressure on him.
I'll address it.
He felt the pressure when there was no pressure.
Yes, and when
He's a stud, man.
And when did that start?
that started early.
No, it didn't.
It did. No, for real, it did.
If it wasn't, I'll do it right now then. If
After the break.
it was, okay, I'll tell you why
Compose
Mike
your
White
thoughts.
wasn't that bad.
Okay.
Until the second half.
Oh, wow. Okay, there's a caveat.
Yes, there's a caveat.